Okay, yeah, well this is the trap with the bad image. Here it is here, this is how you set it. Like this, it's easily set. We can get youngsters about 8 or 10 setting these. And the thing about these different to the gin trap is that when this goes off, my finger in it, look,
right.
It's not being driven home by any spring, these jaws. They're just floppy.
Yeah.
It's just these flaps come up
and hold it in there.
and hold the things from going out. So I've just put
teeth on it either, is there?
There's no teeth. So I've just put my thumb in there.
Yeah.
Now the beauty of these is that you catch a possum in this, it's got a sore leg or a sore toe for a few hours.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to go and have a look at a possum. Well, we've all had a sore leg or a sore toe. I'm not defending the humaneness of it, but that is a mechanism that brings all the other possums in. They're curious. Uncle Harry, Auntie Doris comes in the night to find out what's hurting this possum a little bit. And so they come back the next night. And this is how in conservation hunting we catch these families of possums, and it's desperate situations here in New Zealand in terms of protecting our forest heritage. We all know that, and we all leave it up to an institution which has virtually ditched this mechanism in favour of mass poisoning. And actually this is the way to go. This is the way for communities to solve this problem, and also there are byproducts like this fur here. Here it is. This is about 50 or 60 possums. It's beautiful. It's got a air component inside the hair follicle. It's amazing stuff. It doesn't freeze. That's why it's so sought after and so warm. And it's spun with merino wool presently in a new kind of the latest natural fibre, the combination of possum and merino wool. This is the beauty of this system too. Plucking the fur when they're warm, which you need this trap for.
Yeah.
This trap and this fur go together.
Yeah.
You can get a machine to flail cold possums, but it smashes the fibres, and actually the people using this fibre don't like it. They'd much rather have hand plucked, clean fur, and this goes with that.
Yep.
And it's a terrific byproduct, as well as the meat, as well as the carcasses for composting and so forth. It's very basic. This is my tool of trade.
Yep.
It's a baton. It's very basic, and it's a very humane death. It's unconsciousness immediately with a cracked skull. Luckily possums have got a very thin skull. It cracks quickly, and we'll go and do that now. So although we've caught it in our fruit tree and we're protecting our food system, we're also protecting the forest with our maintenance traps here, and then we go out and do trap lines in the forest itself. Oh, it's a little black one. Now we can just see that is a beautiful animal, a sentient being, and it's not in great distress. It's caught by a couple of toes. If we weren't being noisy coming down here, then it would probably be asleep. It's comfortable on the ramp. The ramp is a lure in itself. It's very basic, and this also is something that for a city boy like myself coming to the farm, it's something to learn about life and death. Yeah. Sometimes deaths are necessary. Our trees are dying. It's an absolute desperate situation. And while people are in cafes and doing triathlons and going to the gym, we need energy put into our fantastic natural heritage here, and these animals are part of the equation, and this is part of the work, and this gets us out on the land and connecting and understanding life and death, understanding the long-term cycles of our forests and so forth. So without wanting to be gratuitous, I'm going to go through my methodology, which is using this baton, which is hitting it on the head. It's instantly unconscious, saying goodbye. It's the hunter looking at the animal. It's the animal knowing the hunter is here. It's a very ancient equation. Okay, so goodbye, lovely possum. It's unconscious. They've got a very thin skull. It's caught by the trap. You can see that there. A couple of toes. It's had sore toes. That's what brings its mates in to see what's happening, and they'll be back tonight. We release it. We put it on something hard, like in the forest. It's normally a tree root. Yeah. Here I'll use the base of this ramp to crack the skull properly. 1, and the blood is a lure in itself, so we use that blood. And it's in its death throes now. The movement you'll see now while I'm standing on its torso is nerves as it's dying, like any mammal would do. I reset the trap for tonight. So this is protecting our food system, but it's also a forest possum that's come out of the forest. The bait, the ramp and the bait, possums love going up a ramp, so it's a lure in itself. The understanding of the animal tracks on the ridges, by the rivers, on the contours between the ridge and the river. It's all a craft. We send our kids, some lucky kids go to Outward Bound school, Outward Bound, and learn these things. This whole conservation hunting mechanism, with its philosophy of guardianship and so forth, and ability to work by oneself to set things up for the optimum hunting skills, it's a fantastic human experience, and it's something that I recommend to people. And it's also absolutely necessary, and we're definitely not doing it enough, and we can't leave it to our government. In fact, they have talked conservation hunting down for two decades now. This little bit of movement there, you can see, is just nerves. The animal would be technically dead. Its heart will have stopped. And now I'm taking this fur out. While it's warm, within a few minutes the body will cool down and we won't be able to pull this fur out like this. And I want to move on to the next trap. If I was in the forest on a line, I'd be wanting to move on to the next trap, so this is why I do it quite quickly. Like this. And you can see, if I wasn't so busy talking, I could apply myself and have this fur off in a minute. And the great thing is that we can do this to any size possum. In the past you had to get big adult possums, and people accused hunters of, who weren't actually doing conservation hunting, but they accused them of farming, only taking the big ones, leaving the little ones. Well, with plucking, anything's worthwhile plucking, you've got it there. So it's conservation hunting really comes into its own, because you're taking all the animals you can, of course. And this method with the traps, they never get trap shy, they'll get poison shy to various poisons. So trapping is a supreme tool of trade to protect our dinosaur trees. So I've nearly done this possum as much as I'd bother doing it. This is a youngish possum, it's quite small, and this would actually be good eating. And if you wanted to take the legs, it's a young male, take the legs, then you obviously soon have enough for dinner, and you can cook it in such a way that it's really good eating, and we can demonstrate that as well. This possum would now be thrown into the forest, but because we're in our garden setting, we'll take it up to the compost and compost it there, and it will enliven the compost along with its mates that we catch in the future. This fur goes off to be spun with merino wool. It's a dignified end. It's dignified. The teenagers not burning their guts, the phosphorus not burning their guts out, or they're not going into paroxysms of death throes with cyanide. You know, it's actually a little bit of a sore foot to draw the population in to work for us, and then it's a dignified death, you know, and then it works into the cycle of life through composting, through eating, through fur. It's turning a problem into a solution. It's just the basic, it's the basic permaculture type of activity. These have died around us in the forest park, supposedly protected by statute, and our trees are dying. And if you ever have the energy spare from your life and you want to do something rewarding and critical for New Zealand, this is it. This is it. As humdrum as it seems, this is the thing that needs to be done. It's not the cafe society of the 90s or the triathlons of the last decade. It's conservation hunting. Let's do it together.